Welcome back, the keto family. Today we're making low carb, keto friendly donuts. If this is your first time with us, don't forget, hit the subscribe button below and the bell icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. Alright lovelies, before we get started, as a reminder, everything I'm using today you're going to find listed right down there in the description below. And at the end of the video will be a nutritional information card that has the macro breakdown so you know what to expect with these donuts. Alright, so this recipe actually came about because I was watching a video by a very, very sweet lady named Sassy. She has a keto channel on here. She just got started, so not many people know about it yet. I will put a link to that channel down below. And I saw this recipe, I'm like, there's no way those donuts turned out that good. So I started writing back and forth, emailing her, and she is just the sweetest lady. You guys will love her, so go check her out. Anyway, so I did give her permission to try out her recipe, let you guys know what I think about it. Alright, so let's jump into this recipe, guys. Alright, so in here, I've already sifted together a cup of almond flour and a cup of coconut flour. It's easier just when I'm sifting them through. Haha. To do them together. Always make sure you sift your flours, guys, because there will be lumps and bumps in there, and those are unpleasant to bite into, okay? So we're going to go ahead and add all of our dry ingredients to this. I have a half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt. I got my sweetener here. This is granular monk fruit. The sweetener you choose to use is up to you. The amount you use as well is going to be up to you. I'm using 2 tablespoons. If you're using a different type of sweetener that sweetens more, obviously you want to use less. Or if you just don't like your donuts to be very sweet, you adjust the sweetener up and down. That is your personal preference to everybody. I'm thinking all my pink salt out. Alright. Next dry ingredient is going to be a tablespoon of baking soda. Baking powder, not baking soda. I always get those mixed up. I know that seems like a lot, but we have a lot of flour here that we're working with, and we really want to try and fluff it up, okay? Alright, last ingredient that's dry is going to be 2 tablespoons of psyllium husk powder. Now me and the psyllium husk, we have a fractious relationship, to say the least. I'm going to go ahead and stir this up while I'm talking to you. So I have tried psyllium husk in several different recipes and different ratios, and you know, the recipe creator swore up and down it was the most perfect ingredient. And I have personally not found a recipe that I liked it in, but I am making Sassy's donuts Sassy's way, so I want to follow it exactly. If these don't turn out, well then you will never know, because I won't bring this to you guys. I'll never bring you a recipe I do not like. But if you're seeing this, that means it worked out. Alright, now that we got our dry ingredients all mixed together, I'm going to add the wet ingredients to it. I got 3 egg whites from large eggs. If y'all saw my vanilla pudding recipe here, these are actually the egg whites I reserved. Well, 2 of them are, and 1 of them I added to it myself. I got a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then I got 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream here. Alright, we're going to get all these ingredients mixed together now. This is not going to be a complete dough once it's mixed together. We're still going to have to add some hot water to it to activate that psyllium husk. I kind of want to get these combined first, and then I'll start adding the water. Alright, now I have a 1.5 cups of water here. I put it in the microwave for a couple minutes till it start boiling. We're probably not going to use the whole 1.5 cups. We're just going to add it until the dough is a consistency that we like. So I'll start off by adding, that's about a 1/2 cup's worth. And it's going to look a little watery at first, but as that psyllium husk does its thing, it's going to gel up and become more of a solid dough. I always get nervous when putting hot water in something that I've already put egg whites in. I'm afraid it's going to make those streaky egg whites. That's why you want to make sure you first stir everything so that you don't get that. Alright, I'm going to add a little more water. Alright, I'm at about a 1/2 cup now. Oh, it's hard to stir. Reminds me of fathead dough a little bit. It's a little hard on the arms. Alright, we're going to have to go in with our hands now. Really get this dough kneaded and see if it's how we like it. Maybe add just a little bit more water. I'm down to about 100 milliliters left out of the 1.5 cups I start off with. There's probably, what, 1/4 cup left, so it's probably about 1.25 cups in here. Alright, I'm liking the way this dough is feeling. It's got that springy elasticity. I don't think this is going to fall apart. We're frying it. I'm just going to make a little ball. I'm going to let it sit and let it rest for about 5 minutes now. Let that psyllium husk really activate and do its thing. Alright lovelies, it has been 5 minutes. This dough is nice and sticky now. It's not going to fall apart on us. And I'm going to be using actually these little donut molds. I get them on Amazon. I got a 3-pack of them for really cheap. It was like $7 or $8. I can't remember. But I'll link it down below for you in case you want to get one. You can obviously hand form these if you want to. But I find it just quicker just to put it in the mold to shape it up. There, we're going to do them just like that. I'm going to get all these filled, then I'll pop them out and transfer them to the oil. I have some avocado oil heating up here. I have probably close to 3 cups. The amount of oil you're going to need will vary depending on the size of the pan or pot, whatever you're using to fry these up in. You want to get it to where it mostly covers the donuts. I know a lot of things I fry, I just make sure it's, at least halfway up. But this being a bread, I really don't want to bite into the dough. I don't want to undercook. So I'm going to definitely make sure I got the oil high enough to cook this all the way through. Of course, I'm going to be flipping it after a few minutes. Trying to just get out any voids I have in here. These little donut forms, I actually originally got these to make bagels with, and they were perfectly for bagels. I got a couple bagel recipes y'all guys should check out. If you're interested in donuts, chances are you'll like my bagels too. These forms are actually pretty small size, which I find great because the smaller your portion sizes, the smaller your carb count's going to be in it. So if you want to make bigger donuts, by all means, make them whatever size your heart desires. And then, of course, afterwards will come the fun part of topping them and decorating them and all that good stuff. Now, just as a note while I'm working on this, I do want to make sure you are aware the nutritional information I'm going to have at the end of this video is for the donuts themselves. Speaking of topping them, this made me think about it. What you top them with will vary, and I don't know what you're going to put on top of them. So I'm just going to put the carb count for the actual, each one of the donuts plain. So whatever you put on it, make sure you're cognizant of that and do your own calculations to figure out exactly how many carbs you're getting with it. Alright, so I already have my avocado oil heated up here. Now granted, this is a small cooktop that it's heating up on, so it's going to cook these a little bit irregularly. So the ones on the farthest outside edges will probably be a little bit lighter than the ones in the middle, probably be a little bit darker, or maybe it'll be ones, half light and half dark. It might look a little strange, but I do what I gotta do. You guys will probably have your own stove so that you'll be working on it, they'll cook more evenly. Alright, so we just pop these out of the molds and put them in the oil. Alright, I got all 6 to fit. You don't want to overcrowd your frying pan here. You got to make sure you leave, a little room between them. I'm going to cook these until they're golden brown on the bottom. Not exactly sure how long that's going to take, so I'll time it, and when I go to flip them, I'll let you know how long it was. Alright guys, so I am flipping these. They are beautifully golden brown on the bottom. Be careful you don't burn yourself when flipping these though, because that hot oil goes everywhere, and I just can't seem to catch this one booger. There it is. Alright, so these have been going about 7 minutes for me, but again, my time might differ a little bit from yours because this is a small little hot plate. So it's, not giving me as much heat as your stovetop will. So just keep an eye on them, check them every few minutes. Alright, you, get up. Alright, we'll give these another couple minutes to cook. Alright, lovely. So these look like they are good and done. I'm going to go ahead and pop them off, and I have some paper towels on the plate here to catch any of that excess oil and absorb it up. You know what, these look a lot fluffier than I thought they would when I was putting everything together. I'm actually impressed so far, at least with how they're looking. They feel fluffy too. I did have a little bit of uneven cooking, guys, so just excuse the multicolored effect on these. There is the first round done, guys. They are looking really terrific so far. I've got my last 4 made up here. I do have a total of 10 donuts altogether. If you come out with a different amount, just please do your calculations so you know what to expect with them. Alright, we're gonna let these cook and I'll be back in a few minutes with you guys. Alright guys, so my second batch is coming off now. Try not to dip these too much with my spatula. Goofed up one or two of them with it. Now on my first observation of these, when they first come off, they are beautiful, they're fluffy and gorgeous. But these other ones that have been off while these were cooking, they've kind of flattened out a little bit. Just FYI, it's not a big deal, it's just an observation I'm making. I'm going to let these cool off a little bit and then we're going to top them. Those are still cooling off, but meanwhile I'm getting my chocolate ready. All I do is I got some Lily's, semi-sweet or dark chocolate, whatever your preference is. I dumped some in here. I don't know how much, I just dumped some. It's probably maybe a half a cup or so. And I also added a tablespoon of coconut oil to it. And then I microwaved it total for about 2 minutes, and every 30 seconds I stop to stir it. I'm going to do the same thing with white chocolate. I'll be right back. Alright, so what I've got going on now is whenever I melted the white chocolate in the microwave, it didn't melt very good. Some parts around it was nice and liquidy, but the middle was kind of like chunky, almost like burned looking. So what I'm doing now is I created a double boiler on my stove. I got a little glass bowl, actually it's a mug. I got a glass mug sitting in a pan of warm water. Yeah, I just got that on medium-low heat. I'm going to slowly melt it and see if that makes any difference with that. I don't know what I did wrong that it did so weird in the microwave. I did 30-second interval stirring it between each one, just like I did this milk chocolate or the semi-sweet chocolate. And it's totally different results. But that tastes good. Alright guys, here we go. I got the white chocolate. It did melt down beautifully on the stove, so FYI, don't put the white chocolate in the microwave. Do it in a double boiler. So just going to pour it into this bowl so we can effectively dip these beauties. I am so crazy about Lily's white chocolate. I'm so excited to finally found it here locally to me. Alright, so which way do you want to go first? Chocolate? We'll do chocolate. So dip it in, drain off the excess, and pizzow. And I've even got some little sliced almonds here. If you want to, you can put some sliced almonds on it, be all pretty about it. Almond slivers would have probably been prettier if I didn't have any on hand. Sorry about that. Once again, my battery died. I had to swap it out real fast. I just got the first one done. It's chocolate with a couple of sliced almonds on it. So I say next we go for this white chocolate that so beautifully melted. Maybe a little too melted. It's a little thin. And how about we drizzle some of this milk chocolate on it. Getting chocolate everywhere. And there we go. We got the white chocolate. It's probably still a little bit too warm. It's real thin consistency, so we'll maybe let that cool off a little bit more. But meanwhile, I can dunk a couple more of these bad boys in the chocolate. There we go. This would be something really fun to do with your kids, decorating the donuts. So we get a little bit more in that corner. There we go. Just to be a little bit different, this one I got some unsweetened coconut flakes. We can add to that. There we go. We got 4 decorated so far. This is so much fun. This white's still just a little bit on the thin side. Let's see. I'm gonna do another one, see if it's thickened up any. And for this white one, what I did is I just got Lily's, what is this? Salted caramel milk chocolate bar. I'm just going to grate some onto this one. Yum. Cute. So the milk chocolate's like melting into the white chocolate. Oh, that looks so pretty. It gave almost a speckled look. Look at that. It looks like a Rocky Road one. I'm totally digging this milk chocolate one. I think that's my favorite. I think that's gonna be my go-to now. Just the chocolate glaze on it. white chocolate. My fingers ain't covered in chocolate doing this. I'm gonna put some coconut flakes on the white chocolate one. Now, if you wanted to, you could also use Swerve's powdered sugar replacement. I personally have never enjoyed powdered sugar on my donuts, so I'm not going to decorate mine that way, but that is always an option to you. Alright, lovelies, thanks for sticking with me. This has been a blast. This would be a really fun activity to do with your kids to have them help you decorate. But here is my 10 donuts. I'll get some pretty pictures for you so you can see what they look like up close. But they are just the most adorable thing. Oh, we've got to taste them. Hey, baby. Would you like to taste a donut? Come taste one with me. Let's see what he thinks. Ooh, Sassy was right. They are nice and light and fluffy inside. Hubby doesn't want to taste it on camera, but he says they're pretty darn good. I'm only a little guilty calling my kid down since she's currently studying for a test in school tomorrow. We'll see what she thinks. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, these are real donuts.
They taste like real donuts, I know. And aren't they just the cutest thing you've ever seen? Alright guys, so I gotta admit, both my husband and my daughter like these. They said they're absolutely amazing. And not only do they taste amazing, but they look amazing, so it works out. And I do have to apologize to Sassy. I gotta tell you, when I was reading the ingredients list and putting it together in my head, I'm like, there's no way that this psyllium husk is gonna be anything but dense. But they're not dense, guys. These things are fluffy and just perfect. Try them out. You're gonna like them. Go see Sassy. I link her channel down below, and I've linked her video up here. Tell her thank you for this recipe because these are delicious. Guys, thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and share this recipe with anybody that you know can use a great low-carb, keto-friendly donut. Until next time, guys. Bye.